Hello, today's video is going to be what to expect when you are in Europe for the most part, because I went to Ireland, Scotland, and England, and these are the things that really I just didn't I didn't realize that would be different, that are different, and things that also will help you hopefully if you didn't already know them. So I have a list on my phone. Are you ready? Because I'm ready. So in a lot of things, tax are included. So in America, a lot of things are like if something's $2, you usually pay like $2.10 or like $2.08. And then it not only depends on where you are in America, but like the state, and then not only the state, but also like the city. It's really crazy. It doesn't make any sense to me. But more money, whatever. But in Europe, a lot of it is already included. So if something says £1, it is £1. It's not 1.10. It's £1. So that's pretty cool. Ordering food. So when we go to a restaurant, you are supposed to tip if they bring the food. I could get this wrong, but this is what my tour guide told me. You're supposed to tip if they take your order and bring the food to you, like a restaurant. And you're not supposed to tip if they take your order and then you go get the food and then they clean it up. Like, you're not supposed to tip. Also, in some places like in Ireland and stuff, tipping is actually considered like rude. So I usually just tipped anyways, just because, I don't know. I guess I figured that like if I was an American, they'd realize that like tipping is weird. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, and then at some restaurants, you leave the food there instead of taking it with you, or like a McDonald's or something like that. Like, you go to a fast food restaurant there, and it's more like okay, McDonald's is a terrible thing, but like a fast food restaurant, like specifically to that country, it's like you leave the food there if there are no like trash cans available, and it's more like a restaurant type setting, but you still wouldn't do it your food, like you leave the food there. I don't know, that was kind of weird, but whatever. Water's from the tap there. A lot of the times you can just ask for water and they'll give it to you for free. It usually will not have ice. Like everything will probably not have ice. But they're usually cold. Sometimes the water is like kind of warm, but it's not like overbearingly warm. Like us in America, we love ice and cold things because it's hot here all the time. So yeah, a lot of things won't have ice. Another thing with like being cold or like liking the colder temperatures, they don't, because it's usually cold there year round, so they don't have air conditioning like anywhere, so it does get really hot. And a lot of the times that a lot of the spaces in there are very closed in like underground, even because it's a very old thing. Like new to them is 1800s, or new to us is like 2010, like 2000s, 1990s, 1980s, barely. But new to them is like 1800s, like hundreds and hundreds of years ago. So it's crazy how everything is just so old, but like, yeah, but they don't have air conditioning. And yeah, so like bring a fan if that matters to you. Or a lot of the times we would just open a window because like the breeze would be so cool. Another thing with daylight, it'd be like we were really far up north, so a lot of the times it'd be like 10:40 and it would look like it wasn't even like 7 o'clock. Like it would look like it was like 6:30 or something, and it would be like just daylight. Yeah, so if you don't like going to bed when it's still daylight, I'd suggest like bringing like an eye mask, or maybe like getting a room where the curtains close. And also a thing, a lot of places don't have irons in their rooms, so you have to like request it before they close. And then also the front desk usually like closes like at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, so you have to like get it before you go to your room. It was really wild. It was like taking me like 10 days to search for an iron to iron my clothes, and then when I finally did, I was just like, this is probably gonna be it, so I have to iron everything. And it was like really wild because I like to iron my clothes. Plugs. The plugs that we have are, this is my computer plug, but it looks like this. So plug that back in. But yeah, that's the plugs that we have. The plugs that they have are very different. I suggest getting a plug adapter that has like 2 USBs and a plug, like a plug adapter, like an actual one to where you can plug American plugs into it. But at the same time, I also suggest, if you don't have a plug adapter, that just get one with the USBs instead, because with the because a lot of American plugs cannot shortage they take a higher voltage or something like that, so they like can short the fuse or whatever, and that happened quite a bit, which is weird. It never happened to me, but so I was lucky. But yeah, but remember a plug. They sell plugs out there because there's like tons of touristy shops and stuff like that, so I'm sure you can find one somewhere, but remember a plug. Yeah. Oh, and where the plugs are, we don't like this, like we plug something in, it just works. But over there they have like the plugs like this. Sometimes they have them like this, but not usually, because the plugs are like, I don't know, they're weird. You'll see if you go there. But anyway, the plugs are like this, and for each plug they'll have a switch with it. So it's like, if you plug something in, don't think that it won't work. Like, consider the switch next to it and turn it on. Obviously I did that and I thought the plug didn't work and I got quite mad. I was like, oh my god, it doesn't work, but whatever. How close things are. Whenever you're in a place, like here we like take a lot of planes from like New York to Texas, or like from Florida to California, because it takes like days to drive. But for them, it literally takes like 2 to 4 hours just to get to another country. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's so short. Like, it literally takes two hours just to get like from here to Galveston, like, which is the same, like just a different city in the same state. Like, it's crazy, like how close everything is, and like how quickly we can get to like from one place to like another place in such a short amount of time. Also, I suggest bringing books, because a lot of the time you're not going to have service if your provider doesn't allow it, or like if they're not a lot of times there was Vodafone out there, and if your provider doesn't like have Vodafone, or like their service isn't that great, because a lot of times you'll be going through like the wilderness and like woodsy type areas where there's not a lot of cell service, and they also like don't really care that much for cell service because they're so outdoorsy. So I suggest bringing books, or maybe like a video game that doesn't require service, or like something small that won't be messy. So like, don't bring like I don't know, like crayons or something like that, but like bring like a book, or like a Game Boy or DSi or whatever. Being loud. If you are an American going to like a different country, be prepared to like be stared at. Be prepared for the looks of like disapproval, because it is very like, oh my god, they're so American, they're so loud, they don't know how to handle things. But just remember that you are representing like whatever country you're coming from. Especially from America, we are like so loud. Like, I didn't realize how loud we were until we went there, and like we were talking, to me, I thought we were talking like really normal, like in our normal voices, but apparently we were being really loud, because one girl, like, it was just, so if you're by yourself, like in a group of like yourself and like 3 other people, you like already know to be quiet, because as soon as you walk in there it's quiet, so like you don't want to be the loud one. But as soon as like you start like to talk in like your normal voice, you realize how loud you are. And like there's a point where like a girl, I didn't think she was being that loud, because like we're generally loud, so I didn't think it was anything. But like the entire restaurant, because her boyfriend noticed, the entire restaurant like looked at us and was like, just like gave us these stares, because we were being so loud, or like she was being like really loud. She didn't say anything like mean or anything. She actually literally said, this restaurant is like so good, or this food is the best. It was so funny. But yeah, just realize how loud Americans can be, and just remember to like be respectful of the culture and stuff like that. And I think that's it. Yeah. So yeah, just remember all those tips. Hopefully some of those things helped you. There's just a lot of things that I didn't really like know when I went over there. Like I didn't know how loud Americans could actually be. Like I knew the stereotypical like was like Southerners are loud, or like I don't know, like certain people were loud, like from this part of town, but like not this part of town. But like we're just all loud in general. Like I'm just telling you now. Um, Generally, if you are from a big state or a big country, or not a big country, a big city, they will know where you're from. Like, so I would say, like, I'm from Houston, and they'd be like, oh, yeah, Texas, we know Houston. Um, yeah, they drive really fast. You can walk a lot of places, especially if it's like if you're in the middle of nowhere, you can walk a lot of places. Be careful where you are though, because a lot of places are just like in America, they are not safe. So be careful about that. You might want to ask your tour guide if you have one, or like look it up. Um, but yeah, cars drive generally pretty fast. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I can think of. But if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Thank you for watching all the way through. If you want to see pictures from my trip, I do have it on my Instagram. I guess I'll link that down below. I don't know. Probably will, just so like you can see. But thank you. Give this a thumbs up, and thank you for watching so much. Bye.